Hello and welcome to another video. And this time it's about some synergies and combinations that some people may be confused about. And I'm gonna try to explain them in this video and I'm gonna try to keep it short. Or somewhat short, compared to at least my theoretical guides and so from characters and things on this game. Uh, First off, I should be saying that um, the people that have seen the Hamusuke guide, the SR version, the original Hamusuke, and then go and saw the practical version, might get a little bit confused if they only saw the practical version and not the theoretical version. And they might get confused when they see that some of my compositions and themes that I recommend to play around or with Hamusuke include characters that's for some people are like counter synergy. Like they do not fit together, but it's because they do not realize the synergy. What do I mean by that? I mean characters like T. Salvedo, for example, the original one, or characters like Entoma, the the SSR version, or even meta characters like Seshi right here. People see like any of those three type of characters, like rangers that move really fast and have grit, like damage over time, damage dealers effects, or mages and so that do not have like a lot of assist on them, and they saw them with Hamusuke and got confused, like why, where is the combo, what do they do? And I'm gonna try to explain that, as well as, for example, other people might get a little bit confused on seeing someone like Momon with Hamusuke on the same team for like a full damage team and not for like a cheap early game team. The synergy that the people do not realize has to go with the assist rate. Like, let me find the character here. Here she is. We can see that with the one headbutt, she invites one ally to do one assist, and specifically the ally with the highest attack, and then it gives the ally crit boost for one round, while the ultimate also invites the ally with the highest attack to do an assist on the primary target, and her captain skill increases the damage from the assist attacks by 10% and another 10% if she is on the Voice King of the Forest stance. That is, the passive skill of Hamusuke that activates with the ultimate. Thing is, this character is heavily inclined to, assist based teams, or to, encourage the player to have at least one assist based character on the team. And you might say, well, that then this character only fits on, assist teams, right? Like characters from the SSR category, like Nigredo right here, that she does a lot of assist attacks, or this moment that has a ton of assist rate and so. But some other people think, well, it's the other way around. Hamusuke should be played with people with characters that do not have any assist rate, like this Nave, for example, because it will be kind of a waste. I'm gonna try to cover both sides, okay? First side, some people might think that it will be kind of like a waste using an assist based character with Hamusuke, because we can see here, for example, she has 20% assist rate here. She has on details in a total of 46% assist rate plus the 20% from the passive, that is a total of 66%, I think. So she's very likely to perform assist attacks on her own without anyone inviting her to do an assist rate, or sorry, an assist attack. So for some people it may be like a waste, because let's say that on the team is Pestonia, the healer, Hamusuke, this Entoma, and then I don't know, this Shelter, just to give an example of the tank. Naturally, the ally with the highest attack will be Entoma. So when Hamusuke does a wall headbutt or the ultimate, she is gonna do an assist attack because Hamusuke invited her to do the assist attack, but it cannot be replicated. And what I mean by that is, like, she goes and performs an assist, she is not gonna go back to her place and perform another assist because of her own assist rate. No, it can only be one assist. So it's either the assist that gets activated by Entoma own percentage on the assist rate, or because Hamusuke invites her to do an assist rate during her attack. So for some people it will be like a waste. For others, it's not a waste because, as we saw, Entoma doesn't have 100% assist rate. If we go to other characters that have really high values on the assist rate, we will be able to see that Nigredo has 15% naturally with her passive, and if the allies attack someone with her special debuff, she gains extra 30%. So it's instead of 15, she has 30 here, and she can gain another 20% with the assist rate up from the deep attack buff that she gains. That is still not 100% assist rate. Even Mate Albedo, that is incredibly good on assist teams, she can only guarantee 2 assist attacks after after her tornado skill, and she has natural 15% assist rate. She can gain other 20% assist rate there, and she has another 20 on the accessories, and 14 more on the arc light. So not even this Albedo has 100% assist rate. For some people, it will not be a waste to pair this kind of characters with Hamusuke, because Hamusuke will ensure or will assure that your character does perform the assist no matter what. Even if the RNG does not play in your favor, your character is still gonna perform the assist, and it will not entirely be a waste because characters like this, it's not like they throw the assist attack and that is just an extra. No, usually their skill set has something to help them to inflict or do something with the assist rate. Like Entoma can put her special debuff with the assist attacks. She can also do extra attacks with the bullet box. She can even inflict bleed on the enemy with that. This anniversary albedo, or sorry, the limited albedo, she can put a special debuff on the enemy with her assist attacks. She can do crit damage, so she can finish off enemies, and so it will not be a waste. But in my opinion, it's decent. It's not entirely the most optimal setup to play around or with Hamusuke, using assist rates, assist based characters with her, but it's not a waste because assist rate or assist rate based characters usually do a lot of assist attacks. Like they will be constantly harassing the enemy, and Hamusuke Captain skill increases the assist rate. So pairing Hamusuke with assist rate based characters, it is not a waste because one, Hamusuke is gonna be giving crit boost to whoever launches the assist, and two, her captain skill is gonna be constantly increasing the damage of the assist attacks. Things that these kind of characters that I use as an example enjoy a lot. The other argument, or the other part that inclines or is heavily inclined to other type of compositions are, arguing things like if you are gonna play Hamusuke on the early or mid level or late game, wherever, try to pair Hamusuke with characters that do not have assist rate but have a ton of attack. Like for example, this Nave that has S on attack and has no assist rate. Others will say, well, maybe you can put something like this, like Victim, that has a ton of attack, no assist rate at all. And it is a nice assumption, it is a nice suggestion, but it's not the most optimal. And I will tell you why. The most optimal, I will tell or try to sell in a little bit. It's where I will say a buffer steam, but that's a little bit different. This is not the optimal on the other side of the argument, because one, this character does not have any kind of synergy, or this type of characters, this is just an example, does not have any kind of synergy with the assist attacks. So even if she goes and throws an assist that is going to have a little bit of extra damage because of Hamusuke, she is not going to be having a ton of synergy because she is not able to put a special debuff on the enemy with the basic attack. So it is not entirely optimized. In Nave's case, that I chose for a very specific reason, it does have synergy, but it doesn't have the best. And the synergy is this one. When someone throws an assist attack, they use the normal, the basic attack. In this case, it's the Surging Thunder here. Let's say I have Hamusuke and this character. Hamusuke invites her to do an assist. Nave goes in and uses this. The synergy will be here that before Nave uses the skill, she gains damage boost. That is an increase of 30% on all damage. And that will help her, especially if Hamusuke plays before her, so Hamusuke can make Nave activate the damage boost. So by her next turn, when she actually has, the possibility to play a skill, not only the basic attack, regardless if she uses the Dark Thunderbell or the Mighty Thunder, the other skills, she will have an enhancement of 30% attack. And if Hamusuke invited her with the Wild Headbutt, she's gonna enjoy a crit boost of 20% more. So here will be some kind of synergy, because that way Nave will not have to waste an entire turn using a basic attack to activate the damage boost effect and then use another skill on the second turn or the next time she plays, with the possibility of the enemy dispelling the buff from her. That is some kind of synergy. But if we go to other characters, other damage dealers, we go to Shelter, that is a sorry, that is a warrior, or we go to Nave, that is an early game ranger. They do not have that kind of synergy. She might be able to put shock on the enemy, and that's all, and it's a 50% basic chance. It's very, very low, can be upgraded to 100%, but on the early game, players are not going to have that upgrade yet. So both arguments are right and wrong, because not a single side is entirely correct. The argument or the side of the players that encourage playing the SR Hamusuke with assist-based characters are right, because the assist attacks are going to be heavily upgraded by Hamusuke Captain skill if you use that skill, because you can use other Captain skills, and they are going to guarantee the assist attacks, and by that they're going to be able to inflict their special debuffs on the enemies and activate their special effects and so. But it gets a little bit waste if you're using Hamusuke with characters that have high assist rate, because they more likely will be able to perform the assist over and over again all on their own without Hamusuke intervention. So they will only be able to enjoy the crit boost of the Wild Headbutt for one round and the Captain skill if it's activated. Hamusuke was King of the Forest stance, but not the ultimate, or for example the invitation to do the assist rate. That will be kind of waste, but not entirely. And the other side, the side that says no, pair Hamusuke with characters that have high attack with no assist rate, so they can do assist attacks, are right, because those let's say heavy hitters that have S on attack, that they do not move very quickly, they don't have a lot of turns, but when they move they do a ton of damage, are gonna be able to surprise the enemy, are gonna be able to maybe finish off the enemies and do tons of damage, yes, but that will be very sparse between turns, because Hamusuke is a fast character, yes, has A on speed, but is not as fast as the meta characters or the recent characters that almost all have S on speed. So it will be put to good use with heavy hitters like these characters, for example, yes, but the entire extra crit or the extra damage on the assist that Hamusuke Captain skill gives is a little bit lost, because the assist rate is not going to be popping up as often as you may like to be able to make good use of that Captain skill from Hamusuke. So you might as well use another Captain skill. And if you're doing that, you might as well replace Hamusuke with another character that maybe doesn't invite Nave to do an assist, but offers an entire different set that might be more useful. Or you can replace with another that invites the character to do assist, like the SR Yuri, that can proc this Nave, for example, to do an assist, even if she doesn't have any assist rate. So if you put Hamusuke with the assist-based characters, you're wasting a little bit the guaranteed assist attack. but you enjoy the crit boost and the increased damage on the assist attacks. But if you put Hamusuke with characters that do not have any kind of uh, assist rate, they are gonna lose some kind of effect. Like they're gonna be hitting, yes, but you're gonna be wasting a little bit the captain skill of Hamusuke because you're not gonna be proccing as much assist rates as you may like or as needed to, make the captain skill valuable or worth putting. Now, what is the correct, or well, the correct or the right or whatever, what is what I think that might be the most optimal setup in which you may be able to use DSR Hamusuke to play either around her or with her. To play around her, you will have to use the relic sets and the awakening levels and gems that I recommended on the original theoretical guide. But I will say it's the buffers team. What does the buffers team consist of? Characters like this Hamusuke, the robotic version right here. Why do I say this character is a buffer? Well, first off, the ultimate of this character puts high tier defense down on the enemies, so the enemies will receive more physical damage. And also gives high tier damage taken down and high tier defense boost that are buffs to the allies. Her passive skill is able to put up a barrier just like the PDL, basically, but without the visual effect, and defend everyone. Also, she gives everyone more physical defense because of her existence on the battlefield, and she also adds true damage to everyone on her team just by existing. Her other skill can stun the enemy, so gives you utility. This puts a debuff, so gives more utility, and so basically this character gives multiple buffs to the allies and multiple debuffs to the enemies. Other character that might fit that criteria is Victim. He's able to put debuffs on the enemies, multiple debuffs in fact. He's able to give a special buff to the allies, and the passive skill also buffs the allies, all of the allies, even if this character dies. In fact, the special effects, the special buffs, the increase on the attack based on his own attack and health, increases, gets doubled if he dies. And because this character can revive, that means you can use this buff multiple times. And even the basic attack puts another special debuff on the enemy. Other characters that might fit that criteria are Shizu, for example, the tank version. She's able to put multiple debuffs on the enemy, as you can see here. She's able to do that with the ultimate skill, with the normal skill, even the basic attack, and the passive skill is able to give multiple benefits to the allies. It can either increase the attack, or it can put a shield on the ally, or purify one debuff from the allies, as well as the captain skill that decreases the enemy magical defense, which is really, really nice. So those are the buffers type of characters that I recommend. Others that might fit that criteria, if you want more examples, are for example this Pestonia right here, because she can give as multiple buffs. She can give turn meter boost, she can give recovery, defense boost, the divine persuasion, her special buff exclusive from her. She can also put multiple debuffs on the enemies, things like that, and also gives you a ton of utility because she's a healer. Other characters might fit that criteria are Pandora's Actor. Everybody knows why. He's able to put basically all the buffs in the game, except the exclusive ones from specific characters, like the one that I said from Pestonia, or this anniversary level. She gives a ton of buffs at the same time. She gives a ton of utility and ways to cheat death multiple times. So those are the buffers team. And how do you make use of the buffers team to get to the optimal setup with this Hamusuke or around this Hamusuke? Well, first off, I will recommend using both versions of Hamusuke, the robot version as well as the organic original one. Then I will recommend you that you will have to choose between using Victim or using a healer. It could be either this Victim if you're going like all out full damage, or if you go for a healing, it will be either Pestonia, Pandora's Actor, or Anniversary Bell, the three best healers according to me. That is a bit subjective, I know, but those are some of the characters that are from the healer category or the priest that are able to give you the best buffs in the game, the best benefits and all of that, and a ton of utility. So it will be both Hamuskes, sorry, then you will have to choose between a healer or victim, and then one special character, well, one category of a special character that has a ton of hidden synergy with that Hamusuke. And let me show you. This moment right here is one of those characters that might be able to have a special synergy with the original Hamusuke, because it can, let's say, double up the DPS of this character. First off, this character has special effect or a special thing that can trigger on his basic attack. Remember that the basic attack is what this is used on the assist attacks that the characters perform, regardless if they have assist rate of their own or if they're invited by another character like Hamusuke in this case. So from time to time, Momon is able to reduce one round of the cooldown from his ultimate when using his slash attack, the basic attack. So that means you can have any skill on cooldown on any part of the game. Hamusuke attacks, invites Momon to do an assist rate. He's gonna be able to use that assist to lower his cooldown and may be able to get the ultimate next turn. That's really nice. Also, the passive gives more special effects to his basic attacks, or in fact to all of his attacks. Every 3 attacks launch, the third attack nullifies 75% of the target defense, and that defense nullifying attack guarantees a critical hit. As well as if there are other adventurers on the team, he's gonna have more damage, but we're gonna ignore that bar because there's not gonna be more adventurers on this composition. So this means that every 3 hits of Momon, the third one is gonna do way more damage than usual because it's gonna nullify almost all the enemy physical defense, and it's gonna be a critical hit. But this synergy does not end there. What do I propose is, with this character, as well as other 2 that I'm gonna try to cover in a little bit, and is the next synergy, you're gonna use both Hamuskes. You're gonna use whatever you prefer or whatever you need between Victim, Estonia, Pandora's Actor, or Anniversary Albedo, and then you're gonna use this Momon. If you use one between Victim or Anniversary Albedo, try to get Momon to be the one with the highest attack. That should be your priority of the team. If you manage to do that, regardless of your relics, regardless of your enhancement, your arc light, and all of that, try to put in the order of turns as your first character to move the Robo Hamusuke. This one right here. It should be fairly easy because it has S on speed, so naturally is fast. What you're gonna do is use this character to throw the ultimate to the enemies. You're gonna lower 40% of the enemy defense while increasing the same amount of defense to everyone on your team, and the passive is gonna be adding more defense to everyone on your team and a ton of true damage to all of the allies. Then you're gonna go and use you're gonna use the captain skill of this Hamusuke right here. It's gonna be on your team, it's gonna be designed as the captain. So when allies perform an assist, the damage increases by 10% or 20 if she is on the Waste King of the Forest state. Then your second character to play should be this Momon right here. Even if he has B speed and Hamusuke has A, try to get Momon to be the one with the highest attack and more speed than Hamusuke. Because when the Robo Hamusuke plays and you get the turn of Momon, you're gonna use the 1 versus 1000 skill. So Momon is gonna go attack and activate the hero's debut. That is basically a stance where he is gonna do a chase or perform a chase after every attack that the allies do. So you're gonna make Momon go into this state and he's gonna have 30% more attack. After that, you're gonna get to play Hamusuke, the normal version, the original. And what you're gonna do is throw the wild headbutt. You're gonna throw the wild headbutt, and Hamusuke should give Momon the crit boost of 20%, and invite him to do an assist attack. So what is going to happen is that after Hamusuke attacks the enemy, Momon should jump in with the hero's debut, do an assist attack. So it's gonna go and throw a slash. That is a basic attack. And that is already the second hit of Momon with only one turn. And after he performs the assist, he's gonna jump back into his place on the team. And then the hero's debut stance is gonna activate. And he's gonna jump again, do another slash, and go back to his place. And after that, you get the next turn. But what happens by that is that first turn, you already used the first attack with Momon using 1 versus 1000. Then with the assist that Momon will perform thanks to Hamusuke while headbutt, is going to be using the second slash. But when the hero's debut stance activates and he does the chase, the weakness detection activates because it's going to be the third attack. And it's going to be a guaranteed critical hit that nullifies 75% of the enemy defense, physical defense. So by that moment, Momon already did 3 attacks, did a ton of damage, and he's doing extra damage because Hamusuke increased the attack of his assist. So even if he doesn't have any crit, the second attack is still gonna be stronger than the first one that used it on his own turn, and the third attack is gonna be even stronger because the passive from Momon activates. If you used Victim by that on the team, Momon will have even more damage than usual because of Victim passive. But if you didn't use that and used, well, in the case of Victim, you could already throw an explosion and make Momon chase again and kill someone. But let's say that you didn't choose Victim, you chose Pestonia. What you do is that you throw the ultimate of Pestonia on Momon, regardless if he is full HP or not. After that, Momon will get 100% to meter boost and is gonna play again. And when he plays again, you throw the ultimate. The ultimate will do a ton of damage because he has a 30% extra attack, and he's already on his second turn by the time some enemies only have their first turn. Then from there on, you can choose the order of your skills however you prefer depending on the match. If you go with Pandora's Actor instead of Pestonia or Victim, just throw the ultimate to give Momon as much buffs as possible and make him chase again and do more damage with the extra 4 new buffs. And by the next turn, you use the Phantom Blitz, and hopefully you're giving Momon one of the high tier boosts. And all the actions from Pandora's Actor trigger Momon chase, so you still have synergy there. But if you used this Albedo instead, the anniversary one, you're gonna decide between throwing the Teda Surprise to do area of effect damage and proc Momon to go and chase the enemy, or you throw the ultimate to increase Momon critical damage as well as giving him other benefits. So when he gets the next turn with his ultimate, he's gonna be able to do a ton of damage because he's gonna have a ton of critical damage increase from Albedo, a ton of damage increase from the Robo Hamusuke, and all the enemies are gonna have a lot of their defense reduced because of Hamusuke was king of the forest state, where she can reduce all the enemy's defense by 12% on the worst case or 21% on the best case scenario, plus 200 flat points of physical defense. So everyone will be already weakening up. And Hamusuke, the robot version, already lowered their defense another 40%. So it's a total of 61% defense nullified. If you combine that with Momon with a termination set, he's gonna be able to basically ignore almost all the defense of the enemies. And every third attack of him, he's gonna be able to literally nullify the entirety of the enemy physical defense. That is the optimal setup or the ultimate, theme for Hamusuke. The Supreme Being, I will recommend you the normal lines from his negative burst skill, but you can use whatever you want or whatever you have. The other character that might fit that criteria if you don't have Momon is this aura. The normal aura, the classic one. Because her special attack is able sorry for that, is able to increase her own turn meter every 3 attacks, just like Momon, a passive procket every 3 attacks. And if she uses the ultimate before throwing the chases and the assist that she's gonna do, she's gonna be having increased critical chance and critical damage. In the case of Aura, again, you try to play Aura before Hamusuke with the highest attack on the team. You throw the ultimate, so she already gets her chameleon mount, her personal mount. She does a ton of damage, and she's gonna dispel a buff from the enemy. Then, when Hamusuke attacks and invites her to do extra damage, she's gonna have whatever crit chance you gave her, plus the extra 20% crit from her basic attack on the mounted stance, plus 20% more from the crit boost that Hamusuke gives. So she's gonna go in, have a ton of critical chance, maybe depending on your relics, maybe you could guarantee the critical hit. And she's gonna do and put the weakness exposed debuff on the enemy. Weakness exposed basically, uh, if you don't have Heroic Light, it's gonna proc Aura to do chases more often on that enemy. But if you have Heroic Light, makes Aura deal way more damage than usual to enemies with this special debuff, as well as the special debuff already increasing Aura damage. Can be stacked up 5 times, and with Heroic Light can reduce the ultimate cooldown. So what happens is that you throw Aura ultimate first turn, then Wild Headbutt from... Well, sorry. First turn is gonna be your Robo Hamusuke for the ultimate, then Aura with the ultimate, then is gonna go Hamusuke, the original one, with a Wild Headbutt to proc Aura to do an assist attack, go back in place, and then go back again at the enemy with the chase. So you're proccing Aura to attack double in the same action. And that isn't even her turn. The same for Momon. That's why I said it doubles up the DPS of the character. And that applies every time you use the Wild Headbutt on Hamusuke and every time you throw the ultimate on Hamusuke. You're gonna have Aura or Momon hitting the same enemy twice, and not even on their own actions. And every 3 hits, Aura is gonna be getting boosted and all of that. The last character is a little bit harder to get, but if you have it, also fits the same criteria as the other two, and it's this Iseshi Nodded No Life. Basically, with her passive skill, and if you have her 5 stars or more, that's why it's a little bit hard to get, she is gonna treat the enemy as immobilized when she attacks someone. And when she treats an enemy like they're immobilized, she's gonna be able to do more damage to them. First off, she's gonna do defense nullify physical damage depending on the speed difference between her and the enemy, so already has a special effect on normal hits. She has that bonus. Not only that, but if she's faster than the enemy, it's gonna treat her as immobilized, and she's gonna nullify 25% of the enemy defense. Not only that, on hit, she steals speed from the enemy, and not only that, she performs what is called an execution on her skill description when she hits someone immobilized or under control effects. And because she's gonna be faster than the enemy, is gonna treat them as immobilized, she's gonna always perform the execution. The execution is basically another chase. I have tested it with Momon Captain skill, and yes, the game treats the execution as a chase special action or a chase effect. And the execution is basically physical damage equal to certain percentage of her attack, with physical defense increasing, with physical damage increasing by 5% every 10% of the target misses HP. That means that she's gonna treat the enemy as immobilized, is gonna steal speed from the enemy, do extra damage that nullifies 25% of their defense, and also is gonna perform an execution that is gonna basically do more damage that nullifies more of the enemy defense and hits harder the more HP the enemy misses. And not only that, but because the execution also uses the normal basic attack to hit the enemy, she's gonna be able to put speed down on the enemy, another special debuff. And this is a highly inclined or heavily, boosted character with critical chance. So this character might be able to have a lot of crit and speed. What you're gonna try to do, this character you will have always the first turn before the Hamusuke, the robot version, no matter your stats. If you have this character on your team, you're basically gonna throw whatever you think is what you need on the first turn. It could be the area of effect skill or the ultimate. and she's gonna chase. Then with Hamusuke, you lower everyone's defenses with the ultimate, with the robot version, and then you get to play the normal version of Hamusuke. Throw the wild headbutt. In my case, for example, she's almost guaranteed crit on every attack. The crit boost from Hamusuke will make her crit, will make her do a guaranteed critical hit, and not only that, but the guaranteed critical hit is gonna is gonna be double up. Like after the normal Hamusuke throws the wild headbutt to the enemy, Seshi is gonna go in, do an assist with the crit boost from Hamusuke. So she's gonna do an attack that is gonna do all of the extra damage from her passive that I said. Not only that, but she's gonna go back to her place and go back again to do a chase on the enemy using her execution skill, and she's gonna basically do the same that Momon and Aura. She's gonna hit the same enemy twice in one action that isn't even her turn, and she's gonna get all the benefits of the basic attack. She's gonna steal speed from the enemy 2 times in a row. She's gonna put speed down on the enemy. She's gonna crit on them. She's gonna nullify part of their defense and all of that. So you have the optimal setup with that. It's the Robo Hamusuke plus the normal Hamusuke, and you could choose between Victim, the Anniversary Albedo, also known as the Healer Albedo, or the Pandora's Actor as well. Oh, well, Victim. If you go full damage, you should go both Hamusuke's, Victim, and then one of the 3 main chase characters that I told you. If you don't want to go full damage, if you want to go a little bit more defensive, you could use one of the healers, depending on what you have upgraded and what do you have on your team. You know, maybe you don't have one of the characters. That is the optimal setup. Hamusuke is gonna be making the DPS of one ally double during some turns. It's gonna make characters that cannot do assist attacks, and then chase after their own assist attacks. And it's gonna increase their critical chance, it's gonna increase their damage because it lowers the enemy physical defense. And not only that, but pair with the other Hamusuke and the other characters that I told you, could be a healer, it could be Victim. You're gonna increase the damage of your ally in question way more than usual, and you're gonna have other capabilities. Like for example, if you used a healer, you're gonna be able to increase everyone's survivability way more because of the heal, or because of the invulnerability that Pandora's Actor can give, or because of the invulnerability from Anniversary Albedo, or you're gonna be able to give turn meter boost to someone and give instantly another turn with Pestonia, things like that. Honestly, I don't think that in this team is any synergy missing, because with these characters, the crit boost from the original Hamusuke is not gonna go to waste, because both Momon, both Aura and Seshi are crit based characters. So having more crit chance is way better than not having that. So you're gonna be able to almost guarantee more crits than usual. With Hamusuke passive, you're gonna lower everyone's physical defense, and the 3 of them, Seshi, Momon, and Aura, do physical damage. So the passive does not go to waste, and the captain skill, if you put it, can increase the assist damage from all of the allies, and you could actually have a captain skill on that composition, because the Robo Hamusuke, Seshi, and Aura do not have captain skills. Victim also doesn't have. If you choose Pestonia or Anniversary Belt, they do not have captain skills. Only Pandora's Actor and normal Momon have. So you could choose, if you don't put the Pandora's Actor or the Momon, you choose another 2 characters. Maybe you choose Victim instead of Pandora's Actor, or Anniversary Albedo, or you choose Seshi instead of Momon. You don't have captain skill, and this captain skill can help you do a little bit more damage. A little bit more DPS can always win you the game. Kill the enemy or something like that. Getting an objective, I don't know. Depending on the match. But you're using Hamusuke captain skill this way, you're using the passive, you're using the wall headbutt. The ultimate as well, I just didn't say it or didn't recommend using the ultimate first, because it causes the same thing that the wall headbutt. causes the ally with highest attack to perform an assist, and so, but the wild headbutt gives the crit boost. And that is what plays very well into the three characters that I said for her composition. And if you think, well, maybe that is just to empower one carry like Seshi, right? So she's really OP and that's all. No, you still have a tank with the other Hamusuke. You still have a warrior with this Hamusuke so she doesn't die as easily. Depending if you chose victim or you chose a healer, well, you still have a healer or you still have an area of effect mage. The tank Hamusuke also does area of effect damage. And because you have a tank, everyone gets more defense, so you still have a balanced composition. And I think that will be all that I wanted to cover on this part, at least. On how to have, the optimal composition and itemization for that Hamusuke. If you still have any doubt, I will recommend you to go to the practical guides of Hamusuke and look the teams that I use. And you will be able to see, because I use all the teams that I said. I use the assist-based teams, I use the chase-based team, I use the ones that do not assist or do not chase, but have high attack. So you could see the difference, you could see the performance and all that. Maybe in the future I'm gonna try to do a specialized video, like in 2 days or so, only using the optimal team, or what I think is the most optimal team with this Hamusuke. But yeah, that will be all for this part. I'm gonna do other parts for other teams and other compositions that I may think, not only about Hamusuke but other characters. But yeah, I wanted to do this one because a lot of people got confused with the compositions that I said, and because each turn of Hamusuke I'm doing guides about every character or almost every character, and this was Hamusuke's turn. So yeah, I wanted to cover her best compositions and so. This does not mean that Hamusuke has the best composition in the game and that will win over every other team on the game and it will get you to the last realm of the realm of shadows or anything like that. No. But it's a really good team. It's like one really, really good team you could go competitive with and all of that. The counter to this team are incredibly tanky teams and control teams. The ones that constantly stun you, freeze you, taunt you, and all of that. And really tanky teams, well, things like double tank, double healer, or something like that. That you're not going to be able to burst down that easily or that quickly. So this is a really good team. I will say it rivals the meta teams if you properly upgrade it and all of that. But it's not the best team of all. This is just what I think is the best team if you want to use the SR Hamusuke in a team and get the most out of her. So with that clarified, thanks for being here, hearing my awful voice, and take a look into the guides and maybe in the next videos about Hamusuke that I'm gonna do, so you see all the good and the bad side and all of that more. So yeah, thank you and until the next time.